What for 1 second makes you think that losing 20 pounds is going to make you a happy person? What do you think that getting the guy, getting the promotion, making more money, getting the house, getting the car, getting the dream body, getting the likes on Facebook, what for 1 second makes you think that any of those things are going to make you a complete human being? I can promise you that they won't. If you cannot be happy with the person you are right now, in the mess that you're in right now, maybe you have weight you want to lose. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're in a really crappy, unhealthy relationship. I am here to tell you that if you do not love yourself right now, no amount of weight, no amount of money, no man will ever make you feel fulfilled. They will never give you that thing that you are aching for so deeply. I have been in the pit alone, and I have been in the pit with Jesus. There is such a difference between being in the pit by yourself and being in the pit with God. Almost 3 years ago, I was terrified of having my third exploratory surgery. I was terrified that they were going to tell me that I needed to have a hysterectomy. I was never going to get pregnant. And that's exactly what happened. But God was there with me in that pit. In those moments where I felt like no one would ever love me. I was almost 40. I'd never be able to do the thing a woman's supposed to do. In those moments, at my deepest point ever in my life, I can promise you that just having that Holy Spirit presence in my life was enough to push me on to the next thing. And 2 months after I had my hysterectomy, I met my now husband. That is only because in my pit, I gave God every struggle I had. I talked to him. I yelled. I was angry. It's okay. He wants us at our best, and he wants us at our worst. He's going to be there in every step, in every moment. But you've got to learn that who you are today doesn't discount his love for you. It doesn't make you any less of a person if you're 100 pounds overweight or in a crappy relationship or living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe you're not even living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you can't even cover your bills. The only thing in this life that we need is Jesus. That's it. We live in this society, and I've been guilty of this. I have been guilty of this as a coach, as a mentor to my team, as a woman, as a fiance, a girlfriend, a wife. I have been this person. I have tried to seek the things that I think are going to make me more fulfilled. In 2019, I hit beyond my goal weight. I wanted to weigh 165 pounds. I got down to 152 pounds. I'm now at 177 pounds. I can tell you that in that moment, I still have the same insecurities that I have in this moment because I haven't allowed myself to heal from all of the crap and the baggage from my past. Which is probably why I gained weight back. Plus it wasn't any fun. I was like 1000% on my meal plan because I was single and I, couldn't do anything except exercise, and I was going through all my hemorrhaging and things like that. And that was like the one sanity I had, was to like focus on something. we are all imperfect people. We are all working towards being better versions of ourselves. And we should, right? Like, we should always want to be our healthiest versions of ourselves. If you struggle with disordered eating, if you struggle with eating your feelings, if you are in an abusive relationship, or you have addiction problems and you're drinking all the time, or you're shopping all the time, or you're gambling, or whatever your thing is, we have to understand that just solving that problem that we're facing one day, maybe, isn't going to be enough. We have to love ourselves as the addict we are today. We have to love ourselves as the overweight, unhappy, living paycheck to paycheck person that we are today. As hard as that sounds, because if we don't love ourselves today, because of the simple fact that God thought us worthy enough to be here, if we don't love that version of ourselves, no amount of any of the other crap that we fill our lives with will ever be enough. You'll always be striving for that next thing. You'll always be trying to keep up with the Joneses. You'll always be trying to lose 1 more pound, or it can become this obsessive cycle of, social media and comparison, and never truly living in the blessing of just being alive. Because let's face it, somewhere today, there are a lot of people who don't get that blessing. They didn't get to wake up today. And I think that we take that for granted. I read in a devotional last week, thank God for every breath that you take through the day. Thank Him for waking you up in the morning, for your hands, your feet, for your appliances, for your sight, for your whatever. Like, we have to stop looking for the next thing and just be content where we are. I have dreams for my business. I have dreams for my life. I have dreams for our family. I have dreams for my body. I'm still working on those goals, but I have to love myself today. And instead of getting up and getting on the scale like I did this morning, because Friday's weigh-in day and I hadn't lost another ounce, like, I could be like, oh, well, I haven't lost any weight. Or I could say, yay, I haven't gained any weight. Or I can say, yay, I'm still 11 pounds less than I was when I started getting ready for my wedding. Like, if we don't learn to love ourselves today for who we are today, nothing will ever be good enough. And I can promise you that you're good enough just as you are today. Even in your mess, even in your struggle, even in your relationships. You are good enough today. Can we just focus on that? Can we take 1 second right now to say to yourself, I love you, thank you. In my workouts, I've been really struggling lately. And I've been saying to myself, I love you, body. Thank you for all you do for me. We have to get back to the things that really matter. We have to get back to the point of just knowing that we woke up today. You think about 20-year-old you and you're like, oh, I'm so fat. Oh, I was way skinnier in high school. We are conditioned because of the ideal that the world has put in front of us that we are supposed to look a certain way, weigh a certain number, earn a certain amount of money. We are conditioned by all of the media sources in the world to think that we have to fit a certain mold. And we've got to break those chains. We've got to. And I am just as guilty of this. None of the things that I ever share for you are the things that I have completely figured out. I am still a work in progress every single day. Practice over perfection. Progress over perfection. In the mornings, I've been getting away from my affirmations and I need to do those again. I will say to myself, I'm a redeemed child of the Most High God. I am the head and not the tail. I will accomplish my dreams. I eat and move according to my goals. I say these things out loud because I don't always feel them in my spirit, and I want to feel them in my spirit because I know that that's what Jesus thinks of me. I know that I am made fearfully and wonderfully. I know that I am wholly created in the image of Christ, that he knows every single hair on my head and even the ones on my mustache. He knows every single one. I work in network marketing, and I am a Beachbody coach. And Beachbody this week, thank you, Jesus, announced that they are changing their name. I have been a coach for almost 6 years, and I have, for 20 years since I started doing these programs, hated the name Beachbody. What is Beachbody? And Beachbody never intended for it to be a negative connotation. Their motto is helping people live happier and more fulfilled lives. It has nothing to do with actually having a beach body. So now we're just changing the name to Body, which I love that. We're talking about health esteem. We're not talking about before and after pictures. We're talking about you today. We're talking about loving yourself so completely right now that you just want to live better because that means you feel better. Because we don't care what happens in the world if we don't feel good. I was reading in I'm just going to get it out and read it to you because I think it is absolutely amazing. So this is a book written by Christy Wright. Dave Ramsey did the foreword. Years ago, I saw a magazine ad that stuck with me. It had a picture of a beautiful girl admiring herself in the mirror. I think it was an ad for jeans, but that's not why I remember it. I remember the ad because of the caption over the image. You don't flirt when he looks good. You flirt when you look good. Isn't that true? You don't want to go out on the town when everyone else is excited. You want to go when you are excited. You don't want to be in a bunch of pictures when everyone else looks good. You want to look good. You don't want to have fun, laugh, get into an adventure, tell stories, or make memories when everyone else is in a good mood. You want to do those when you are in a good mood. It all starts with you. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Like, think of that. You want to do things in life when you feel good, when you feel worthy. But sometimes it's remembering that you are worthy. And if you don't feel good, you've got to take the steps to get yourself to feeling good. But that starts with the things that we think in our brain and the things that we say out loud. Because if we say, I'm tired, I have no energy, I'll never lose the weight, I'm fat, I hate exercise, I love sugar. Like, if you continue to say those things out loud, those are the things that are going to draw to your life. That's just the power of the world that we live in. But when you say, I am fearfully, wonderfully made, I eat and move according to my goals, I am eating to nourish and fuel my body for myself and no one else. Like, you have to take control and take responsibility for yourself. It's not selfish. It is completely necessary. It is your responsibility. I'm going to read you a little bit more. I regularly neglect one of my most important responsibilities, me. I saw working, taking care of my boys, being a supportive wife, showing up for my friends, and helping others as important responsibilities. And like many people, I saw taking care of myself as a luxury I indulged in if I had some extra time left over. But we shouldn't view taking care of ourselves, like working out, spending time on a hobby, or having cute clothes that make us feel good, as luxury, save for guiltless times of the year, such as birthdays and holidays. We should instead view it for what it truly is, our responsibility. It's your responsibility to make yourself feel good. It's your responsibility to make yourself happy, confident, and proud. It's your responsibility to make yourself a person your family wants to be around, a woman your husband wants to take on a date, a mom your kids want to play with, and a friend people want to hang out with. No one can do that for you. For instance, no matter how many times my husband tells me I look pretty, if I don't feel it, I don't act on it. If you don't feel confident and hot and sexy in your skin, what's that doing for your relationships? What's that doing for your marriage? Love her now. Love her today. Yes. Move her, exercise her, fuel her, but not conditional on love. Not conditional on love. You love yourself unconditionally because you are wholly created in the image of Christ. The rest is just a blessing. If you don't love yourself in your mess today, nothing you ever do, no goal that you ever achieve will ever be enough. It will never, ever make you love yourself. We talk a lot up in our workout group about why. Why do you want to lose 20 pounds? What will losing 20 pounds mean to your life? You want to get off the floor easily when you play with your kids. Maybe you're a grandma and you don't want to be the grandma sitting on the bench at the park. You want to be the grandma in the playground playing with the grandkids. Maybe you don't want to take medications for the rest of your life. Every single person almost in my family is on medicated for heart disease. I mean, they got blood pressure, they got cholesterol, they got diabetes, they got this and that and the other. I don't want that. I don't want that. That's why I exercise. Plus, it's therapy. My exercise is my sanity. I know what eating well, eating healthy, eating clean, I know how that makes me feel. I know how eating crap makes me feel. Why do we continue to do these things to ourselves when we know how they make us feel? It's because maybe we're not loving ourselves enough as we are. Because when we can do that, we want to be better. We make better choices. You're not going to be so focused on all of the things that you aren't. You're going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, flaws and all, and say, I love you, sister. Thank you for all you do for me. My booty may have dimples on it, but she can squat. She can get up off the floor without having to use her knees and chairs and furniture and have people pull me up. That's a win. You have to look at yourself in the mirror the way that Jesus looked at you when he first created you and formed you in your mother's womb. He thought you were worthy enough to be here because you are. You've got to change the conversation in your head. You've got to flip the script. Mel Robbins talks about the 5-second rule. If you've never followed Mel Robbins, if you've not read her book, read it. In the moment that you have a thought that comes negative, in the moment that your anxiety starts to peak because you think of all of these things that you aren't, count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Say it out loud. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And in that 5 seconds, you have the opportunity to change the conversation. Change it. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Say it. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So every time that negativity starts to build in your brain, you take every thought captive, you make it obedient to Christ, and you say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You are not meant to live in a body that you hate. You got to forgive yourself if you've gained 100 pounds. You've got to forgive yourself for all of the crap that you have allowed yourself to do in the last 10 years, 5 years, week, 3 days, the last hour. Forgive yourself. Let it go. Move on. Move on. Stop waiting until tomorrow to love yourself. Stop waiting until a year from now, or until you hit your goal weight, or until you get the relationship, or until you make more money, or until you get the promotion, or the car, or the this, or the that, or whatever. Stop waiting until that moment to love yourself, because now is the time. When we love ourselves today, we move into the goodness and the blessings. The universe attracts that shit to us. When you say, I eat and move according to my goals. Lord, give me the strength to know the things that you have for me today. And bless and release all of the things you don't, including my own negative self-talk. Help me change that conversation in my head. When you say those things, when you pray out loud, when you do affirmations out loud, when you talk about all of the awesome qualities that you are out loud, the devil's going to run away. He's going to say, oh, there she goes again, doing her positive affirmations. I guess I can't get in her head. So he's going to leave you. That just leaves you with you in here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I am a person of action, integrity, grace, faith, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. If you have Jesus in your heart, you have the fruits of the Spirit that he had on the cross when he took his last breath. And self-discipline is one of them. Love is one of them. Peace and patience and gentleness and faithfulness and all of those things, you have those and you give them away to other people. No problem at all. Start turning that inward. Start turning that to yourself. No one can give that for you, to you. You have to give that to yourself. It is your responsibility. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am wholly created in the image of Christ. You are enough as you are. Stop doubting God's creation. He made everything in the world in 6 days and then he took a nap and he thought you were worthy enough to put on this planet. So stop second guessing his choice. You are worthy of a life. You are worthy of your dreams. You are worthy of your goals, but love yourself today while working to your better tomorrow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.